things that people get really, really confused with coaching. You see, one of the questions that I've had is, what has coaching have to do with leading my team and leadership? Yeah, and one of the things that I realized about business owners is that a lot of business owners start their business with being very technically good at something. So, I'm really, really good at cooking. I'm really, really good at tailoring. I'm very, very good at offering the training myself. And then suddenly I have to run a team of people. I've got like 5, 10 people, 20, 50 to 100 people. And oh my gosh, actually there are less things for me to do. And frankly, it is not well worth my time anymore to be doing the work versus actually coaching and guiding people to do it. So when you talk about leadership, when you talk about what has leadership got to do with, what has coaching got to do with leadership, it has everything to do, because you'll find that one of the things, the reasons why business owners start business is that, well, they're really, really good at what they do. And they get to a point where they're good at their trade, but they get to a point where actually I need to start managing people to be able to grow my business. So this thing called people management, I'm not very well versed with it. And people and human management need to be learned. And when it comes to learning that, where do they learn it from? What do they do? And so that's also where learning to coach your team is a skill. It's a skill that you want to be able to have, because one very, very important thing a lot of business owners need to know is when you're very, very busy doing, you're in the doing, you're managing very hard and you're getting things done and you're executing very hard, especially when you have 20, 30, 50 people, you have a line of managers that are supposed to be managing on your behalf and executing. You're finding you're still inside the business and you're going, so what's going on there? So that's where coaching comes in. Coaching enables you to empower people, but you've got to know how to step back. A lot of business owners they're so busy doing that they're not busy coaching. And when I say being busy coaching, there are a ton of things that you're being busy with. Now, when you're coaching your team, the first thing that I ask you is, do you know your team? Do you know who they are? It's like the Sun Tzu Art of War. If you're the general and you're sending everybody off to battle, hey Chang, nice to see you, nice to have a familiar face. Guys, if you're on this video, just you're on this live, just give me a bit of a thumbs up and a wave. I can't see you waving, but I love to imagine that you're waving. And this is the thing. When you're the general and you're sending people into war, do you know what your archers can do? Do you know how far they can shoot? Do you know what your foot soldiers can do? Do you know how long they can march for? See, knowing your people is akin to knowing who your soldiers are, and that is very, very important for you to be able to manage your business well. And I'm just gonna tap into that a little bit more. And guys, can you hear me clearly? Thank you so much, Chang, for a little bit of that feedback. I'm just gonna make it a little bit louder. Okay? All right, thank you very much. And so when it comes down to being a very, very good coach to your team, it's also about knowing who they are. Do you know what they can do? Do you know what their strengths are? Do you know what their struggles are? Do you know how fast they work? Do you know how they look at decisions? Do they look at it as a big picture? Do they look at the details? And these are all strengths. Knowing your people is part of coaching. And then what else is inside coaching? Being clear with direction. Sometimes business owners are so far into the doing that being clear on the direction and making sure people are all clear on the direction is not there. And you see, the direction is not, make money lah, sales lah, revenue. I understand that. But if I may, and you're really looking, thank you so much, Nick. Really, Nisa, clear and loud voice, very good. Thank you so much. I'm actually talking into the phone right now, if you can see my forehead, yeah? And if I may, having clarity on direction is a very important part of leadership. And as a coach, that is your job. When people don't understand, your employees don't understand where the organization is going, they see a lot of changes. what happens is that your employees can start making assumptions. They can be, oh, okay, this is happening. Okay, that's happening. And when they make a lot of assumptions, does it affect the productivity of their job? They're not sure what's the next step, what's the next step, what's the next step. And so that's where coaching comes in. And if I may, that's also why we spend a great deal of time and we've built a very, very powerful program called the Employee Whisperer. The Employee Whisperer talks a lot about how business owners learn to coach, because there is a skill to it. And what I find is a lot of people say, you know, do you know how to coach your employees? And a lot of business owners go, coach, isn't that for third party professional, you know? So is that something I need to learn how to do? I probably need to lead, I need to manage, but what in coaching is going to be necessary for me to grow my company? Now everything. Why? Because when you learn to coach, you are learning how to get results through other people. Now, how many of you on this video, and you know, you can put your hand up. I won't be able to see it, that's okay. But how many of you on this video, you've delegated something, and when you've delegated it, you were pretty sure, you were very, very clear with your instruction. This is what we need done. This is a very, very important task. Okay. Days later, you follow up with said employee, and how is that particular project? Oh, hit a few snags, not sure how to continue. And then you find that you delegate, but it actually slows down the productivity. So actually, you would have done better just, you know what, I could have done it myself, and you take the work back. Now, at that point, hang on a minute, at that point, cross junction. You could leave the work with the employee, or you could take it back. Now, a lot of business owners, you know what they do? They take it back. They take it back, and then so now, just imagine if you're doing that with one person, but if you're doing that with 5 other people, you do that with 10 other people that you've delegated, and then they return the work to you. That means the delegation has made you the bottleneck. When you feel you're the bottleneck, that is the opposite of coaching. Now, how much can you grow your business if your employees are returning the work to you? Now, then you could go down the route and say, oh my gosh, you know, the quality of employees these days. Throw your hands up in the air and say, what's wrong with our graduates? Now, a lot of people do that. Or you could go, maybe I need a way to coach them better. Now, coaching people means you're getting results through other people. Now, when you do that, you got to use your mouth. You got to use your mouth. A lot of business owners use their energy. So, you cannot do the work, is it? Okay, let me do it. Now, how many of you have experienced that before? Why? Because that seems easier. It's easier because now it is very, very true that for business owners, because we have years of experience in this business, what might take us 10 minutes to do might take an average employee 2 days to do, right? Now, some of us can understand that. So, Maresa, really frankly, why do we got to delegate? And you know, it takes days for them to do it, but it takes minutes for me to do it. But this is the thing. If you have 10 employees returning the work to you, how many minutes have you got doing their work? And do you start sabotaging yourself because why am I paying them so much money again? Now, and this is the thing. If that's how you already feel about your employees, use different tools, use different resources to be able to get results with them. So I'm coming back to delegation, and this is what I teach in my Employee Whisperer program, where we coach, we grow the coaching skill in leaders and entrepreneurs. We grow this coaching skill. Inside the Employee Whisperer, we teach you to use your words. This is a very, very funny story, if I can take a bit of a segue. A very, very funny story is one of our clients actually runs a design company. And so you know design, right? Click, click, click. And then you're making little changes. Change the car to green, to a lighter green. You know, you're changing. So it's design work. So when it comes to design work, it's so much easier to say, the client wants this type of green, not that kind of green. Can you change the green? it is much easier to actually take the work and do it yourself. Click, click, click. So what the directors have coined is, instead of use your mouse, click, 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 that means the directors do it themselves, click, 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 you are using a mouth. So instead of using your mouse, use your mouth. Using your mouth means you've got to use your words. Now, using your words also mean, as a leader and a great coach, you need to know how to communicate. What words do you use? And the more vocabulary you have to be able to explain what you want from your employees, are you going to be more accurate? And it comes down to, that is delegation. Delegation is communication. It's not a one-way, this is what you need to do, bang, 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 bang. And how many of you have told and instructed your team what to do, and okay, maybe sometimes they do it, but then sometimes they do it and then they hit a snag. Alamak, I did this and then I had a problem. And then that problem, they keep quiet about it until boss follows up again and say, what happened to this project, huh? And you go, oh, actually we had this issue. How long have you had that issue already? Oh, it's already been 2 weeks. What? So you sat on this problem for 2 weeks? Ouch. Now, how many of you that has come across to you? See, that is, again, when you delegate, do your employees see the big picture of what you want them to do? And this is one of the sciences when it comes to delegating successfully, is delegating not just the task. A lot of people delegate the task only. So if the task fail, they just sit with the problem. Employees are not empowered to do more than that and to problem solve because they can't see the big picture. They have no idea where they're going. So when it comes down to coaching, gang, there is so much that I want to be able to share with you, and that's why we coined Employee Whisperer, where we turn you from a boss into a coach. We turn you from a boss where you're barking orders and barking. Now, if you're barking a lot, like and you're making you're instructing and you're telling a lot, it means that your team is not capable to execute if you're not there. And this is a very important phenomenon, because if you're not barking those orders and they are clueless, they have no idea what to do, that means you're stuck in the business. You literally have a job. Now, some of you might also have this. You see, and this is the thing with running a business. Some people say that, yeah, when I go for holiday, I go to Thailand, I go to China, I go for my holiday. You know what's the first thing that I buy when I reach that foreign country? Oh, souvenir. No, SIM card. SIM card? Do you know why? SIM card, so I can put it into my phone, and then the next thing I'm texting. And then when you're texting, what are you doing? You're barking orders. Now, is that necessary? And if you're on a very, very nice holiday where you say, okay, I work really, really hard on a nice holiday, and then you're barking. Now, the thing is, if you lead your team well, you do not have to do that. Please don't go and buy SIM card. First thing is to go and buy yourself a souvenir, go and do something for yourself. But if you're barking instructions, that means the team is well unaware what they need to do. Now, maybe it's a question on delegation. Thanks you, Fiona. Thank you so much, Fiona. Barking and clueless. I'm actually quite scary of that kind of person. Okay. Now, if you're having that situation of barking, and you need to come in at the beginning of the day to make sure all your employees know what to do, there are some business owners that are like that. If that's happening, it could be a question of your communication levels. That means it's not getting through, okay? So that's also where we take responsibility and we say, okay, how do I become clearer? Number one. Number two, it could be a question of systems and SOPs. Now, if that is the question, then, well, how standard are your operating procedures that people actually know what to do on a routine basis? And you see, this is the thing. Some businesses, and you have this challenge, do come and talk to one of us as coaches. Some businesses, there's a lot of routine, and then there are some businesses where there is a lot less routine. But if you can, you systematize as much of it as possible. Okay. Number three, a possibility also is that the person that you hired is wrong for the job. That's also a possibility. You find you keep saying the same thing over and over again. You're barking the same thing. Now, if that is happening, it's also a case, in fact, that maybe this person just has no skill for that. Don't say no skill, like zero skill, alamak, no lah, you shouldn't have recruited this person in the first place, you know. Maybe the skill. And sometimes we are applying certain job expectations to people that don't have that skill there, and it's a guesstimate. Hey, I think this person can do it. You know, I don't think can. You're not sure, and you're having to test it out. And one of the things that we take great pride in doing is, you know, as a coach, you need to be able to understand your employees, assess them, find out what they're good in doing, and that's why we use the AccuMatch Assessment Behavioral Intelligence Report, where we understand everybody's meta programs, what their skills are, what their struggles are. Because one of the things that, and I don't know about you, but I've worked for somebody before, as in I have been employed, and one of the things that I sometimes feel my ex-employers do with me is, if I'm a fish, they say, Maresa, climb that tree. Go and climb that tree, huh? So I'm taking my fins and I'm flapping up the tree, and while I'm dying and losing oxygen, I'm still trying to climb the tree, flap, flap, flap. So you just imagine a goldfish trying to climb a tree and a monkey trying to swim. And if you're finding that your employees are lack of that matchability in the skill and it's a struggle, the last thing you want is to continue watching your employee fail. I mean, it's the same with Alex Ferguson. If he watches David Beckham run all over the second half of the field and is lousy at defense, he's not gonna go, oh my gosh, you know, continue doing that, David Beckham. You're actually lousy at defense, but you know what? Keep doing it. No, he's gonna find a place where he can put those football players. So, you see, when I talk about this, gang, I'm going into a lot of detail, and for me, there's so much more that we want to share. That's why we put together a very, very powerful program, the Employee Whisperer, that teaches leaders how to coach. It is a skill, and remember, it is not some third-party profession where, oh, you know, coaching, isn't that what they do as a profession? No. It's something every entrepreneur, every leader needs to be equipped with. And if you want to grow far, and you're going to grow this great team of people, and you know you started your business by being a very good programmer, or being a very good trainer, or very good at your trade. We call that mastery. We call that the technician by Michael Gerber's definition. Now, if you're that, then look, learning how to coach is going to take you to a whole other level. So please do join us. We will leave some links at the bottom where you can click on it and find a little bit more. And do join us, because there'll be a lot of other CEOs, entrepreneurs, and leaders as well at this program. But gang, I really do hope you enjoy this. I'm very passionate. There's a lot of energy and there's so many things I want to share, but you know, I'm getting the time waved at me and I'm talking a bit too long. But I just want to say that, you know, if there's something that you really want to be able to do, just do come and join us. And for now, guys, if I hadn't already done that, I probably forgot to introduce myself. My name is Maresa. I'm the CEO and founder of the Spark Group Asia. Myself and my team of coaches were very, very excited to meet more new leaders and entrepreneurs and to coach you to bring yourself and your business to another level. So, till then.